Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to episode 3 of Real Estate TV. Super excited to bring you today's episode. I'm going to take you on a journey. Not quite, but I am going to teach you how to read the real estate market and the couple of different nuances of it. Hopefully it avoids you buying at the wrong time and crying for months and months and months because the prices are going down. So I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, I thought I'd take the opportunity to explain to you the 5 different types of market conditions that we see in the property industry, what they are, how to read them, and how to act in each market. So I'll start off at the top with a boom market. So I'll explain the 5 first. There's 5 different types of markets. We've got boom, then one step down is seller, and then we have neutral, and then we have buyer, and then we have a bust market. Now, each market is a little bit different, and they're all dictated by the supply and demand ratio. So that's really Economics 101, and I reckon you'll find everything is dictated by supply and demand at the end of the day. But we experienced a boom market a couple of years back, and basically what happened is prices were just going up and up and up, and things went crazy. Now, the reason for that is, on average, at each auction, let's pull a random number out of the air. There were 5 people who were super serious at one auction. So the ratio was 5-1, and we just found ourselves in a boom market. Now, in some situations, that ratio was a lot higher. There was almost 10-1 people looking at buying the one house, and they were all just trying to outbid each other, which meant prices were just going up. And then straight after that, we experienced a bust market, which was the exact opposite. So everyone was selling because things were going nuts. So they went, let's cash out. But the buyers left the market. Now, the Royal Commission didn't help. Debt was hard to get. Loans were hard to get, should I say. Basically, there was tons of houses on the market, total saturation, and there were not a lot of people able to get money to buy those houses. So we found the exact opposite of what we found earlier. There were 5 to 10 houses on the market, and there was one she or he looking at them, which meant obviously the price is going to go down because he's got 10 options, and they're just going to go for the cheapest one. They have all the power. Now, one step up from a bust would be a buyer, and that's when market conditions are improving. There's, let's call it 10 houses on the market. All of a sudden, there's maybe 3 or 4 buyers looking at those 10 houses rather than one. So things are getting a little bit better. Your odds are going up, and prices are starting to, rather than dropping like that, they might just sort of start to level off just a little bit. They're definitely not coming up. One step above that is neutral, and that means that there's 10 houses and 10 human beings buying those houses. Prices are flat. They're not going up. They're not going down. The supply and demand are balanced. It's 50-50. You can probably guess what a seller's market is then. It means that the amount of properties available on the market is slightly less than the human beings looking at buying them. So in my classic example, let's say that there's 10 houses on the market. Now all of a sudden we've got about 15 people looking at those 10 houses. So it starts to get a little bit competitive, and you see in auctions, people trying to outbid each other because we've got some serious buyers and a couple of properties less than there are serious buyers. That's when the price, it's not going up like that, by no means. It's sort of steadily going up. Now, in the industry, typically, we really like a seller's market. It's a lot more predictable. It feels more comfortable for investors. They're just sort of seeing their 10% growth, call it, rather than this crazy, scary 28% growth. When's it going to stop? When's the bubble going to burst? Everyone was talking about during the last boom market. You get that sort of conversation. And then, again, a boom market, which is where the ratio is just nuts. You've got 30 serious buyers and 10 houses, and everyone's going crazy to outbid them. The reserve's $1.2 million, and it sells for 1.9 because there's just this seriously motivated buyer who's probably lost at another auction already and doesn't want to lose again. Now, the way that we read the market is really simple. Jump on realestate.com, have a search for how many properties are available in your area. So let's take Officer, for example, because that's where I live. There might be 23 properties. Now, that's just an arbitrary number I've pulled out of nowhere. Let's say, though, there's 23 properties available on realestate.com today. I now need to work out how many sold in the last 12 months. If the number's the same, 23 properties sold in the last 12 months, and there's 23 properties available today, we are in a neutral market. Anything less, we're in either a bust or a seller market, a buyer market, should I say, and anything a bit more, we're then in a seller to boom market. And the tip of the day, I would say, is really try and pick a neutral market. So that's the point at which prices have done this, and then prices through the bust period, then prices have done that through that buyers period, and they're neutral. So they're at the bottom. They've bottomed out, and I reckon they only really do that for a couple of months or weeks. So you don't have long. We're kind of in a neutral market at the moment in the East. With tipping into a seller's market, we're starting to see auction clearance rates go up. I think the last one I saw was around 80%. So things are no longer being passed in. During the bust period, it was like 40% clearance rates, and it was super scary. So we are erring into a seller's market. If I had some cash right now, I probably would have bought about 2 months ago, to be honest with you. So that's, you need to be looking for that neutral market. Hey guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and please share it around. Your word of mouth is so important. You can't even believe how important it is. It would break your brain. Thanks guys. See ya.